You know, I have never been a fan of cooking. Maybe because it was instilled in me that as a girl, it's essential to learn cooking. I mean, how am I to support my husband after marriage otherwise? And I didn't want any part to do with that. So I pushed around the idea of cooking for a long time into my adult years, thanks to my rebellious way of life. Funnily enough, few months into the wedding, I have spent more time in the kitchen than I have in my entire life. But it's by choice or the illusion of a choice, more likely. Over the years, as I grew older, I realized how essential a life skill cooking is for both men and women. When we moved into the new house, we had very little kitchen items, so we have been ordering from Ikea lately. We end up cooking quite a bit also these days using these items, so I'll be showing you these as we go about preparing some food this week. I have to say that as far as sharing responsibility of setting up the house and taking care of daily household chores is concerned, we don't subscribe to gender roles. We take turns based on our time and mood and basically try to be there for each other as much as we can. In general, we both value our personal freedom and free will too much to force things on the other person. But before we get into that, I actually have a story about how I got into cooking if you'd like to listen. And of course, it's related to traveling. So just a few months before my latest Euro trip, which was in 2019, feels ages ago, I knew I would end up meeting people who would want to sample Indian food. I was going to volunteer and live with the local people, so this was more likely to happen. And I didn't want to disappoint them saying that I can't cook any Indian food for them. So I ended up learning paneer butter masala before leaving. But when I went to grocery stores in Europe, I realized that they don't really use paneer. So I ended up making mushroom butter masala instead. Well, they liked the dish anyway, maybe because they didn't have much of a yardstick to compare it to. But one thing I do remember my German host telling me, that he has never seen anyone using so many spices for a dish. And I think that's probably the reason why Indians find it hard to live without Indian food. Because the melange of spices in Indian cuisine is really unique and hard to match elsewhere. Anyway, after I started cooking, I realized that I don't suck at it. I've got my basics right, and living alone really helped me, basically forced me to learn a few dishes at least to survive. And like I was saying before, we don't believe in gendered stereotypes. Like me, my partner doesn't subscribe to the society's idea of what a woman should or shouldn't do. And he stands up for me in the face of misogyny, and I love him for that. Why am I sharing all this here? I think I just want to normalize this, that both partners can share household chores and it doesn't have to fall into the shoulders of one person, and that things don't have to change drastically after marriage if you marry the right person, and that you don't have to compromise on your values and it's okay to stand up for what you think is right. Moreover, you don't have to settle for anything less than you deserve. If I have to be honest though, wedding means very little to us either way, but that's a story for another day. Whatever you are here for, the IKEA kitchen items or the story, I hope this video helped you or touched you in some way. I'll see you next week.